One Nation will be supporting the standing orders and also the disallowance motion put up by Senator Di Natalia. Chronic pain, PSD, asthma, nausea from chemotherapy patients, schizophrenia, glaucoma, epilepsy, multiple sclerosis, cancer, metabolic syndrome-related disorders, anorexia and so many other ailments. Category A patients, better known as terminally ill patients to you and I, have One Nation support to ensure that if you are dying, the TGA will not veto your right to quality of life. Through this disallowance motion and under the Special Access Scheme, you will have One Nation support in accessing medical cannabis oil. We have a terrific raft of Australian producers coming on board who I support wholeheartedly. Take, for example, Medifarm in Queensland. They will grow and producing medical cannabis oil here in Australia within the next 12 months. In the meantime, I will not stand in the way of dying patients' dignity. I will not stand in the way of patients' right to quality of life. I will not stand in the way of a loving parent who's trying to care for their child. I am tired of governments, both state and federal, turning these good people into criminals for the sake of loving decisions. One Nation did support the government in the last motion when it was passed, but upon reflection and talking to people throughout Australia, they have clearly made it apparent to us that they do want this, and I think I was not informed correctly by the government and the intentions of their bill. Upon reflection of that, and especially under the access to this, it is important that Australians who wish to access medicinal cannabis have every right to do so. When we have other drugs that are readily available to them and yet they cannot access medicinal cannabis, then I have a big question mark over it. Why? Australians have the right to decide for themselves. I do believe in protecting those people who have been granted licences for the growing, manufacturing and production of medicinal cannabis. I think it's very important to Australia that we do have this. But in the meantime, I think Australians have the right, if they have the prescriptions, to access medicinal cannabis, to allow doctors to prescribe it to them for whatever reason they may need it. And I made a list of ailments in my speech. But One Nation and my colleagues will be actually supporting the motion put up by Di Natalia.